Have you ever been curious as to why monks don't have sex? There's a really good reason. So let's dive into that today. Today I'm going to talk about, without being crude, if I can, some reasons, 6, 7 reasons or so, as to why we like to preserve a certain energy inside of us rather than wasting it in the external world. So, let's dive into this a little bit. There's a reason why monks don't have sex. There's a reason why monks don't masturbate. I believe actually they are allowed to masturbate, but there's some reasons why we don't. Obviously monks, they're nice people, right? But the reason that they're doing this isn't so that you know, because they want to just stop all of these nice things from happening. They get a benefit, and I have to admit, having observed this a little bit in my life, not totally, I can't claim to be a monk, I'm no monk, sinner over here, but having observed this a little bit in my life, I've gone through a few changes, a few shifts that I want to talk to you about, and really dive a little bit deeper into why monks don't do it, and why when we go on a spiritual awakening, when we start, especially a Kundalini awakening, why after some time it might be worth to stop sexual activity just for a moment. And let's go into this. I'm not saying that we have to become monks and stop sex completely, but we're allowed, of course we're free, we're allowed once in a while to, if you just want to, you know, it's a pulsation, isn't it, this energy, it's impulsivity, so to speak. And if you sometimes you just want to get your rocks off, in which case, fair enough, you're allowed to do that, you're free, go and do that. But you'll notice that if we're doing this too much, or it becomes an addiction or a dependency, then it's a bondage, isn't it? And when we get tied to bondages, it's no good for us because it drains our energy, and then it makes us believe that this is the only way our happiness can come, and that's nuts, because then you limit life to just one tiny aspect of it, and if you look deeper into it, it's not really making you greatly happy anyway. The first reason is that sperm, or your sexual fluid, equals power. The monks don't have sex because they're harnessing their sexual energy. There is not much information out there about this, so this may sound new to you, but the sexual energy has a potential in it. Of course, it's life-giving. We can create another life. So there's a potent force in our sexual energy, and as we transmute that sexual fluid, shall we say, into an energetic format, mind my terminology, this isn't exactly how it works, this is limited terminology, but this is just my experience of it. We can transmute that sexual fluid energy into what I'm going to term Kundalini. I don't actually know whether it is, but it's a powerful force, and the monks are doing this too. They know that this will travel, this energy can be harnessed and used in such a way with the right kriyas to travel up the spine and into the brain. My knowledge of this is experiential, yes, because I feel it happening, but it's also, if I go back to my yogic roots and I speak about it from a yogic term, it is what I imagine the transmutation of sexual energy, and then the lifting of that energy through the chakra system, what we call in yoga the Sushumna Nadi, one of the 3 main energy channels in your body, all the way up into the brain. It will allow for some really cool things to happen. We call it in yoga siddhis. We might translate that to mean superpowers, but you get some really cool funky things going on, like clairaudience, clairvoyance, telepathy, things like these. And I'm sure you're going through these too. Another one is that we know that to create sperm, or to create our sexual fluid, women ovulate once every 30 days. It's a rare occurrence. It takes the body a lot of effort to get there. For guys, for sperm, it's their sexual sperm, the reproduction of that sexual fluid takes a lot of energy. There's no doubt that it takes more energy to rebuild your sperm and pulse more sperm into your testes than it does to create a hair follicle. Your body requires a lot more energy, and because of this, if we're engaging in too much sexual activity, we will lose lots of energy, lots of wastage. We'll be hemorrhaging energy, and it's why you probably have to have a nap halfway through the day. You'll notice as you bring this quota down that you won't need to be napping so much, because you won't be draining that energy, you won't be hemorrhaging that energy. It's called, in essence, in yoga, Brahmacharya. It's a principle that's about conserving your energy, and it does come down to sexual energy. Sometimes people say, some teachers say you have to be celibate, totally celibate, and I don't agree at all. Otherwise there'd be no yoga kids running about. And of course I'm young, and I'm not going to restrict my life, certainly in that way, at all. And if it feels right for you, you can restrict your life in that way. I'm sure you'll get an amazing benefit for it. I'm not going to do it. I can't hold there and say I'm a monk and that I do all of these things, because I don't. I just know from abstaining a little bit how these things work in me. So 3, on the flip side of that, you'll get more energy. That energy is then harnessed, that sexual energy is harnessed into your body. If you take 5 days off, go celibate for 5 days, totally remove sexual acts from your life for 5 days, and you'll notice you're more energetic. There's something in it, there's a power in it that just makes you alive and absolutely excited. It sends electric through your body. Pulses through your body in that sense, and you do begin to feel it the more sensitive you get. 4, it can be transmuted and converted for spiritual growth. I believe the transmutation of Kundalini is through sexual, for a guy, because I'm a guy, I just speak this way, your semen holds a lot of power. You can transmute that energy with the right yogic kriyas, which I do daily, and you can transmute that into a feeling sense, a feeling energy that will come all the way up into your brain. But we've talked about that, so let's move on. 5, you will learn to be with strong sensations. If you're in the dark night of the soul, there's a strong sensation that you know about regularly, that perhaps you avoid a lot and perhaps you don't want to deal with, and that is the pain in the belly, right? It can feel at times overwhelming, and as this kind of energy starts building up, as your sexual fluids start building up, as your sexual energy builds up within you, there are strong wants or strong urges in the body to go and fulfill that. Of course, you know, monks don't have an easy time sitting on the meditation seat and refraining from sex. This is a natural thing that happens to the body. The body wants to reproduce, and it will give you strong urges, strong sensations to go and fulfill that. And of course you can do, but then you hemorrhage that energy, and of course then it dies down, right? What we can do is take a cold shower, guys. But of course, you know, sometimes we need to go and fulfill that, and that's fine too. You know, there's nothing wrong here. These are just things that I've noticed. So you'll learn to be with strong sensations. You'll learn to not get pulled and tugged into these strong sensations. Sometimes you will, of course. None of us are perfect unless you're a monk, and even they're not perfect, you know. So you will get tugged and pulled, because this is the life-giving force. This is the force that's within us, that's totally natural. And to kind of stop doing this, or to try and observe those things, is not unnatural, but it goes against our nature, you know. So it will be difficult, and you will notice that you'll get better with dealing with strong sensations, and that's transferable into the dark night of the soul too. 6, it will bring about in you what I will consider a normal sex life, a healthy sexual proclivity. I'll leave that there. 7, I think Abraham Hicks says, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, right? And I've never really understood what that meant. But when you begin refraining from sex, that electric, turned on, tapped in feeling is your everyday experience. You will be receiving huge energy boosts. And again, I'll just round it off with this. It comes down to this yogic principle, Brahmacharya. Sometimes if you go and read what that means, it says celibacy. You don't have to be celibate. You will be conserving energy. You will be transmuting that energy if you're doing the right kriyas, the right sadhana. If you're not, you won't. So don't start looking for these things. Don't start believing these things might happen, because they won't if you haven't got the right kriyas. But as you're conserving this energy, it's this principle called Brahmacharya. We want to conserve that energy, because when we conserve the energy inside of us, we harness it, we can use it for our benefit. It makes us feel nice inside. It gives us that energetic buzz that we wouldn't have had otherwise. We'd have perhaps been feeling exhausted or whatever it is. Of course, down below there's a free breathing practice. You're more than welcome to join in with it. You have to sign up, but it's free. It will change your life. It changed mine. People talking about it to me in the group down below as well, that you're more than welcome to join. It's a free private community for awakening souls, and you're more than welcome to join us there if you want to speak up. We've got people that are enjoying that breathing practice that are in the group now, speaking about it, speaking about the benefit that it's having in their life. And again, I can't claim credit. Yes, I'm the one teaching it, but I'm just the messenger. This is just the message. This all has nothing to do with me. Yoga just works. It does exactly what it says on the tin. No fluff, no filler, just battle-tested yogic stuff that really, really works. That's all down below. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.